We're sitting here with Al Brewer, ready to do his interview. So, Al, obviously that's your nickname, because your name's Alan. Do you have any other names?
Well, they used to call me the Brewmaster.
Okay. And where's your hometown?
Belfast, New York.
Okay. And are you married?
Not now.
Well, you have a significant other.
I have a significant other. Yes, I do. Brenda.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Brenda a little bit?
Oh, she loves racing.
She does.
Yeah. That's the main thing you need, and someone that you're going to be with, because if they don't enjoy the racing, it's not going to be long lived.
So, how many children and grandchildren do you have?
Wow. I've got three of my own, and I've got four stepchildren, and altogether I've got 15 grandchildren.
Wow, you're getting a lot there.
I'm not done.
No.
I got 2 great grandchildren.
Oh.
I'm just a puppet. When we get into the greats, then maybe I'll give up racing.
Well, maybe. So, you missed a kid then? No, maybe not. Do you expect any of your children to race?
No. None of them had the passion for it.
And then your card number is 71.
Yep, that's the year 1971 is when I started racing.
Okay. Have you had any other card numbers?
A couple. We had a super stock. We raced at Freedom one year. And that was a 91.
Okay.
Because the 71 was already taken.
So just that, the 71 and the 91?
Yep.
Okay. And what class are you currently running?
Last year I run 2 classes.
Okay.
I was driving for Scott Bond from Belfast, street stock at Freedom. We ended up winning the points championship there. And then I run E-Mod. Have been for the last few years. Been running E-Mod for myself.
What chassis is on your E-Mod?
That's a Shaw.
What engine are you running in that?
It's like a 394 cubic inch. It's one I built years ago.
And then, what track do you consider your home track?
Well, home track or favorite track?
Well, home track first.
Well, that's a tough one. Smithport's always felt like a home track to me, but Freedom also.
Okay. And then, what's your favorite?
My favorite track's Freedom.
What all tracks have you raced at?
Oh boy, I couldn't tell you how many I've been to. I've raced all over. We've been down to Florida. I raced pickup trucks on dirt in Texas, and we're talking 35 years ago probably. Yep, and that was before NASCAR had pickups. That was a blast.
That's awesome. That sounds like so much fun.
As soon as those Texans found out I was from New York, they weren't kind.
Well, did you beat them?
I whooped up on most of them.
Well, that's good. Who was your childhood hero?
Never really had one.
Did you have a racing hero?
No, I never had a favorite. No, never did.
How did you get into racing?
That was a mutual agreement between my father and I, because I was wild with anything that had a motor on it, and he felt that he better put me in a race car so that I could have a chance, because he felt that if I took my aggressions out on a racetrack, maybe I wouldn't be getting into so much trouble on the street.
So that's why you started?
Yes,
to keep you out of trouble.
Keep me out of trouble. Yes.
Okay.
It worked for the most part.
What class did you start in?
I think they called it a hooligan class back then. It was a
well,
drum raceway.
That kind of fits, trying to keep you out of trouble.
Yep. That was a drum raceway. over in Allentown.
Now, did your father or grandfather race or anybody?
I had an uncle that raced a little bit, and my dad tried when he was younger. But no, we didn't have it wasn't really in the family much. It was just, they built a car and took turns trying to drive it.
And then you chose your car number because that's when you started racing?
That's when we started building a car and racing, yeah.
Okay. What was your best time in racing?
Every year was the best time in racing. I just loved racing dirt. And I don't think, some years are worse than others, but I've enjoyed all the years of racing I've ever. I don't think I can pick one out. I've had better years than others. We went with Larry Tasswell with a number 32 car that one year. We had like 21 feature wins at 4 or 5 different racetracks. It was awesome. But I enjoyed all of them, even the years I never won a race. I still enjoyed them.
Just as long as you can get out there on that dirt and get some racing fuel in your system.
Go out there and get her done.
What was your worst moment?
Oh, probably in 2009 at Freedom when I crashed my E-Mod up there. That was probably the worst time I've had with racing.
I would have thought it was when you barrel rolled. I'm sitting there at Smethport and I still see that to this day. When you're on your nose spinning 3 times. I will never ever forget that at Smethport turns 1 and 2 in your late model.
Yep, that didn't hurt half as much as the one at Freedom.
I still will never forget that. I've never seen a car do that before. That was crazy.
Yeah, when you're in the car, you don't see what is going on, but you feel it.
Do you know how many wins you have?
No, I never kept track. It wasn't anything that I never kept track.
How many championships?
Never kept track.
Do you know when your first one was?
Nope, can't tell you that either.
Do you know when your first championship was?
Nope, I can't remember which track it was at. Because we've won championships at a lot of the different racetracks. So I'm not sure which one it would have been. I'm thinking maybe Freedom and then maybe Bradford, because we were running both tracks
simultaneously.
Yeah, simultaneously.
Do you have plans to change or move up a class or retire?
Oh, and we always talked that we're going to give it up, but we're never going to give it up. As long as we can get in the car and go, we're going to do it. Probably going to stay with the E-Mod for a little longer.
See what happens in that class.
Yeah, Scott Bond, he's thinking of selling his street stock and maybe going into a crate late model, which has always been my
Your thing, yeah.
my thing. But we'll see what happens. I'm not too worried about it.
What do you see in your racing future?
A couple more years. Yeah, then maybe I ought to settle down and go bowling or fishing or something.
Those are so boring.
I know they're boring. That's why I race.
How many years have you raced?
I think this was the 44th year. I don't know. I can't do the math real quick. But
what do you see that racing needs to do to move forward in the future?
If they've got to get the classes down to where it's affordable.
They've got to get them under control.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's okay to have the big classes with the big money, but there's only a few people that can afford that, and there's a lot of people that like to race and are good racers that can't afford to do it.
Yeah.
So they need to get back down to the cheaper shocks, cheaper tires, run pump gas, not all this exotic shocks and exotic fuel. Make it so that when you spend, $4,000 or $5,000 on a car, you don't have to spend another $10,000 to race it that year.
Well, even like the street stocks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They might as well be limited lates.
I'll tell you what, back when I won the Street Super Stock Championship at Freedom, don't know how far back that was, but that street stock I ran this year remind me of that. So it's like
The same thing.
same thing. You know, what, 10, 15 years later?
Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, the street stocks are like the late models back in the early 80s. These street stocks, if you put a 4-barrel carburetor on them, they were a late model back then.
I know. It's insane.
Yep.
Except back then you could pull the motor out of your truck, put it in your car when you blew your car motor and go race for the rest of the night. Come in, pull it out, put it back in your truck and go home. Because
Well,
I know guys that have done that.
We used to always tow with a Chevy for a reason, so we had spare parts.
So I asked Haggerty and I asked Ward, and you have known Ron Baker for years, and you know,
Yes.
a lot of this is in memory of him. What is your favorite Ron Baker memory?
Oh, with Ron, every night was a different night. But pretty much whatever he was thinking, he was saying. So
Yeah,
I never.
he had no filter.
I think I raced against Ron a few times at Bradford a long time ago. But other than that, no. But Ron's always, he always said hi, and, outgoing and talked to anybody. He was a good guy. We'll miss him. I talked to him once a few years back at Little Valley Speedway, and I go, Ron, if you ever had it to do over again, would you do it any different? Nope, not a thing. So.
Well, do you have any special pictures that you want to show us or that you brought with you?
No, not really.
Well,
They're all special.
I think we got some pictures of them. So.
Oh, I'm sure that probably they got a few out of the old files there.
Well, thank you for sitting down with us so much, Al. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and thanks for inviting me, and it was fun, and I hope this leads to a little more participation down the road.
Well,
Have a good time.
we're thinking this might be a yearly thing, so.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks, Al.
Thank you.